Yesterday, we saw the debate, the presidential debate between former President Donald Trump and Vice President Kamala Harris. Who won the debate? What were some key moments and the key topics that were discussed? Let's find out, let's discuss, and remember, guys, we're going to be raising the black. Hello, everybody. My name is Stavros. I'm a professor of international relations and a democracy advocate. You're with me on Black Flag Media. This is a free YouTube channel. We are basically raising the black, which means that we're trying to think outside the box and speak outside the box. So we're going to be analyzing last night's debate between the two contenders for the office of the President of the United States, Kamala Harris and Donald Trump. Let's get right to it. The first thing that I noticed was at the moment when the two candidates they entered the scene, and both of them apparently they were about to go to their designated position in the podium. Donald Trump did so. He basically ignored Kamala Harris. She did not. She tried to approach him. She wanted to shake hands. They did. She said something like, "Let's have a good debate." And he actually said, yes, it's nice to see you. Have fun. Have fun. We did have fun. Well, that was the first look that we have from these two candidates. It wasn't that grateful, to not address or, shake her hand. He did. Trump did shake her hand, but he wasn't much enthusiastic about it. So that was, I think it was a foul from the Republican side. So let's see what else happened that last night. One other topic was, not topic, but something of note, was Kamala jiggling all the time. I don't know why she does that. I don't know if, her team is mentioning that all the time to her. They should be telling her all the time that you should stop laughing, when nothing is happening, actually. You should stop laughing. And for the first 10 minutes of the debate, she was laughing and like crazy all the time. I don't know why. It didn't make any sense. Also, you know what else didn't make any sense? Her way of thought. Sometimes she was lost in her thought. She was saying something and repeating herself. I think you know what I mean. You have seen videos of that online. So basically, she starts saying something and then she's saying that, she's saying something like, we need to change the capability that we have to changes in the country. So, something like that doesn't make sense. It seems like she has like some sound bites from her team that she tries to repeat, but she forgets about them. And then as she's repeating them, she doesn't make any sense. This was also, this happened a lot yesterday, which was bad for her. So, we had the initial response by Trump. He didn't approach her. That was bad for him. Her jiggling and not making sense. That was also something at the beginning that was really, really bad for the Democrats in this instance. So let's move to the topics. So first we have the economy. Kamala, she tried to blame everything on Trump by saying, that this guy is, we had the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. We had the worst epidemic and all that. So we had to clean up his mess. Okay, I can hear you, but at the same time, you cannot blame a guy for the epidemic, right? So, in a sense, this was a weak point. Basically, she said that she asked around about her own economic policy compared to Trump's, and Goldman Sachs, of all banks, they said that they agree with her. Is this a badge of honor for you that Goldman Sachs, one of the main businesses and banks that almost bankrupt your country, essentially in when the recession of 2008 started and they hit the U.S. economy? Are you proud for this badge of honor, Goldman Sachs? I don't know. Are they donors of your campaign? Maybe that is why she mentioned this. I wouldn't mention that in her if I was in her position. Trump didn't have anything good to say as well. He started blaming her, calling her a Marxist. Actually, to Kamala's, Kamala, she predicted that. And she said that you're going to be hearing a lot of name calling today, and he's going to be name calling me and, hurling slurs against me. That's exactly what he did. It seems like he cannot stop himself. So, yes, he predicted that, and he failed to, dodge that bullet. He straight away started insulting her personally, which is really, really weak. Moving forward, something that was really, really weak for the Democratic side was the abortion topic. When Donald Trump, he outright asked Kamala if she is in favor of having abortions in the 7th and the 8th and the 9th month of pregnancy. Guess what? She didn't respond. Can you imagine that? He asked her, "Are you okay with having abortions on the 9th month of the pregnancy?" And she dodged that question. She avoided answering. She basically just she asked him something in turn, so she wasn't capable of saying, "Yeah, you know what? 9 months should be a little bit too much for having an abortion." She didn't say that, which is crazy and scary at the same time. So on the immigration side and topic, she was really, really more well versed and prepared. She said a couple of things that she saw her strengths in this. She said that compared to Trump, she's the only one who has been dealing with transnational criminal networks that have been trafficking human beings, drugs, and weapons across the border, and she has been persecuting these criminal organizations, obviously. So this is something to her benefit. And the second topic that she raised was that there was a deal. It was about to pass the U.S. Congress. Some conservative leaders were supporting that leader for the border. But Donald Trump, he said, he started calling people and telling them, "Do not vote for this. I'm gonna disavow you. Do not vote for this," because, as Kamala said, Donald Trump wanted to run on a problem instead of being a leader, acting as a leader and helping to solve this problem. So yeah, that was a pretty good strike from her. While at the same time, she reminded us who are the people supporting her. She said that many Republicans support her. For instance, she mentioned Dick Cheney and his daughter. Dick Cheney, can you imagine that? Dick Cheney, this is the crazy nut job, the person who was running the country when George W. Bush, the junior, was president, and he was the one who lied to the whole world about Iraq and Saddam Hussein having weapons of mass destruction. He launched a crazy war for so many reasons, for so many years against the country. He devastated the country on the false pretense of Saddam having WMDs. He did not have, obviously. They were liars. He was a hawk. He's a war criminal, and a Democrat and a progressive at that. She said that she is really, really excited and proud to have this warmonger supporting and endorsing her. Really, I didn't see that coming. I didn't know that. This is the war party, guys, right here. You can see the war party. The neocons, they have been leeching and attaching themselves to either the Democrats or the Republicans. Doesn't make any difference. So, for instance, when Bush and this guy Cheney and Wolfowitz and Rumsfeld and all these guys were running the show with the Republicans, the neocons were attached to them. Now, under Biden and Obama before that, they have been attached to the Democrats. That's why they basically did the coup in Ukraine in 2014, and that's how we have the war right now between Ukraine and Russia. So yeah, this is the war party right here. Then she managed to score some points against Trump by mentioning that, there are many people that served in your cabinet that have the worst things to say against you, such as the previous DOD, the state secretary of defense, the previous Trump's national security advisor, joint chief of staff, the generals from the joint chief of staff condemned basically Trump. So that was a weak point as well. Trump, he managed to strike back by mentioning, what these guys did in Afghanistan, the withdrawal. Basically, this was a huge loss for U.S. credibility. They not only left the weapons in the country, the Humvees and the Jeeps and the vehicles, they also left the keys on these vehicles. And you remember, obviously, the people dying as they were withdrawing, and also the people, allies and interpreters of the U.S. Forces there, basically Afghani people that they were helping the U.S. They had to climb above airplanes to leave the country. This is what Joe Biden did as they were trying to extricate themselves. So they did extricate the U.S., but at what cost? And this was obviously a major defeat of public confidence to the strength of the U.S. Trump mentioned this, and he also obviously struck the note of the immigration issue and how we have now crime is up in the country. And he also mentioned the concept of migrant crime. He said we have a new crime, migrant crime. I would like to know more about that, actually. A couple of things that they're pretty similar, and we saw in the debate. Both of them talked about weaponizing the justice system, and both of them did so, actually. You will remember that, actually, right now, the justice system in the U.S. has been sheltering Hunter Biden, the son of President Biden, for his many, many problematic behaviors and illegal activities, tax fraud, and all that. Also, Joe Biden, when he was vice president, he took some high secret, high confidential documents in his own apartment, home, for some reason, and the justice, the DOJ, basically dropped this case. So he was helping himself as president, and then they weaponized the legal system, basically throwing everything that they had against Trump. In some cases, there were cases against Trump that made sense, but some of them were not. It was just political witch hunt. Also, Trump did the same. He weaponized and used the legal system in many ways to further promote his interests himself. He secured the interest of his friends, lackeys, but also allies such as President of Turkey, the Islamofascist Recep Tayyip Erdogan. There was a big sanctions regime against Iran by the U.S. Turkey managed to help Iran, and there was this big scandal with one of the biggest banks in Turkey, Halkbank, actually, helping Iran to evade these sanctions. And there was a legal case against Turkey and Erdogan, and his pal, the other corrupt dictator named Donald Trump, supported his friend by basically, telling the justice system to drop the cases. So both of them did this. Also, another thing that they both did, and it was mentioned during the debate, was the idea of supporting extremists, violent extremists at that, mind you. Both Trump in the January 6th invasion of Capitol, he did that, and he was directly asked by the journalists of ABC, and also Kamala Harris did the same when she was supporting, looters and violent, I don't know, Antifa people that were revolting and breaking I don't know, stores and cars and stealing stuff for instance, Minneapolis. She said we should, fundraise to help them make bail at the time. So the journalist didn't say that. Trump said so. But yes, truth of the matter is that both of them have supported violent extremists in the past. Kamala, she stands for nothing. The journalist asked her about her different policies regarding fracking, regarding assault rifle buybacks by the government, regarding her stance on border crossings, a stance that she has become more tough for this topic. Basically, she switches her ideas all the time. She doesn't stand for anything. She is the best politician that your money can buy. She's just being bought around the country. Israel and Hamas, the war was another topic. Kamala was the most humane politician on the podium. She said basically that the war must end. That Israel has the right to defend itself, but it should matter how they're defending themselves because many Palestinians, civilians, are dying. Trump said that he just hates Israel. He is a hawk, a pro-Israel hawk. He doesn't care about innocent lives at all. I don't know if he cares about lives, to be honest. He also mentioned Ukraine himself by saying that there wouldn't be any war if I was president in Ukraine because I was too tough and Putin was afraid of me. That's a half truth. Surely there would not be a war under Trump, not because Putin is afraid of you. I guess you're pals because you're pals with any dictator. But there wouldn't be any war because the Democrats created the war in 2014. Victoria Nuland, Pyatt, Biden, Obama, all this crooked, corrupt individuals, they were the ones with the 2014 coup. They overthrew Viktor Yanukovych, an elected president, and they did what they did to have this war. So yes, this is true, but yeah. Also, Kamala fought back by saying that, you know what, dictators around the world are rooting for you because they know that they can win you over through flattery or through, just by being best friends and do shady deals. She's right, yeah. So both the presidents of North Korea, Russia, I don't know, the king of Saudi Arabia, the arch-fascist of Turkey, all of these people are best friends of Putin, of Trump. So yeah, they would vote for him. Regarding Ukraine, Kamala said that, yeah, you would solve the war in the first days of your election, and that is because you would basically give up the war. And she said that like it would be a bad thing. And Trump, he basically said that I would like to have the war stopped and the suffering stopped. And he also mentioned something that was really, really to the point. He mentioned the idea of World War III and nukes. This is something that we should be talking about. The Democrats are not talking about that. Like Russia doesn't have nukes, and like they're not flirting or provoking World War III with their actions in Ukraine. So he mentioning that was on spot. Finally, I'm going to be talking about their closing statements, and that's how we're going to be seeing who won here. I think that Kamala, she said that there are two visions here. One is for the future of a country. The other one is for the past. And she tried to struck a note about unity and hope. She wasn't as good as Obama was. I guess she was. I get a feeling that she doesn't believe this, but she's trying. She's trying to raise some positive ideas. She said some generic stuff. Nothing stuck at the end. Also, she said something really, really crazy. She said that we should be we should have the most lethal fighting force in the world. That was crazy to me. She didn't say the strongest army. She said the most lethal fighting force in the world, capable of inflicting pain and suffering and killing. That is great. Okay. But at the same time, again, she tried to strike a positive note by saying, we should unite, we should start. And she also talked to the camera. She addressed the people. She said, I'm doing this for you. I want you to be proud for your country. She tried to project hope, and this was great. Trump, on the other hand, he in his closing statement, he just condemned Harris as a continuation of Biden. She is, but that's not what you should be saying at the end of the debate. You should projecting your own visions. He doesn't have any vision, I guess. He only stuck with the dystopian future of the U.S. in case of World War III and nuclear holocaust and immigration crisis. That is accurate, but that's not what you should be saying in your closing statement. And I guess he's not projecting this positive vibe, guys. So from an arguments perspective, I would say that Trump won because, again, Kamala had to try and find excuses, excuse Biden for his failures, as everybody sees that she is a continuation of his policies. So she was lacking in that extent. So yeah, Trump won on the argument side, but then on the most important thing, element of projecting a vision and a positive image and for the country, the positive outcomes of the future. She won. She really struck a note about inspiring people. This is what a debate should all be about, and this is what a politician should be all about. Thank you, guys. This is for today. I'll see you in the next one, and remember, keep raising the black.